So,
Fine.
welcome everybody to the November sacred forecast with myself, Roberta Robbins, and my dear friend Nancy Reed. We have been doing this together for definitely a year now, definitely a year, over a year. And like we were just saying before we pushed record, time just keeps on getting faster and faster. And apparently, November is here, 4 days in, as we are landing into this call for the community. We also are recording this live for other social media platforms. So, hello to those outside the community. And yeah, laying to rest October, like turning the page of the calendar book this morning, going, yeah, no, it's done. Close it, turn the page. We are here, November, 2 months left of 2024. Wow. A fresh energy month of for numerology of a one. So fresh new beginnings, reflecting of energy that's going to be coming in, setting a pattern for 2025. Nancy and I have, I would say, the last few months in astrology, we've been like, yeah, I would say since maybe August, actually, just the last few, we've been like, wow, it's just like it's beautiful, it's flowing, it's pushing forward. And this month, there is like the imagery that I see is like bam, wow, boom. The Batman and Robin cartoon, like the old, that's like literally what I see. The old imagery of the cartoon with the bam and wow. And it's that with like a lot of power, a lot of change, a lot of things coming in to challenge and break down. I mean, we are in Scorpio season. And behind all the power and the breakdown and the times have to change, there is still that support there that's coming into, like, I feel like wrap around us from behind, wrap around like big, beautiful arms saying, it's good. We got you. And we know you're in like a lot of upheaval. The world is change. We know that we've been in it for a while, but this month I wrote, buckle up, get your parachute, and plus find your deep faith and trust. Because there is just so much, really, it's like at a power point of something, like really the power pushing the pressure, I should say, pushing and ready to. And I'm also seeing that, if you think of the tarot card, the tower, and it's on fire typically, and things are crumbling, and that's very that death and rebirth energy of Scorpio energy. There also seems like there's a volcano inside the tower right now, ready to erupt. So this is what we're in. This is what's kind going to be pushing us through for this month. Wow. That's what I have to say to start this off. Wow, for November, and like I said, 4 days in. And we've already had our new moon. We've had our new moon. Like it
Yes.
already happened. November 1st. Came in, boom, boom, bang. We're done. um,
Right?
I'm like, oh yeah, apparently we had the new moon. I mean, I felt it. I know it rocked a lot of people. I wouldn't say it had that effect, but I felt the depth and the medicine, the magic. But I really like working with Scorpio energy. Um, and I think being someone that has a North Node in Scorpio with like that direction in life, like you're working with the Scorpio energy in life. So maybe those that don't work so much with the Scorpio energy, maybe you were one of them that was feeling it, got your ass kicked a little bit from it, but that's okay. It's all good. Nancy, dear Nancy, how did coming into November feel for you that, a few days ago?
It's so funny that you say that because like it literally, it's like, no, I'm looking and I was like, no, like we can't be here already. And I feel like I was very present over like it was like, oh yes, like we had an incredible Halloween, we moved in to November on the 1st and we were just like, yes, and I the present November 1st was a Six of Diamonds day, which really is about being present and being here now. And I like, if I think back, it already also feels like a lifetime ago, but I was like, yes, I feel like, okay, I'm feeling this hope, this optimism for November. And also, like, it's big energy. And it's like, it's really going to be asking you to stand in your choice and to your power. Like, so all of the things that you're going to see, feel, hear, experience around you, just once again, coming back to self feels very important this month. And um, that Scorpio energy of a little bit of like, fuck you. Like, right? Like, fuck you to everything that doesn't feel right for you. And really being discerning and choosing what it is that you're going to be paying attention to, what choices you're going to make. On my monthly post it that I wrote for myself, I wrote out illumination and inspiration. And like when I was last week, when I was originally preparing for this and just my usual stuff for myself of, okay, next month's coming, like what am I seeing, what am I feeling, I just keep being surrounded in like candles everywhere, like just this full, the light in the dark. Like it's a very like I just keep picturing myself in like it's this dark space, but there are all these beautiful candles around, and I just keep feeling that energy. And it's like, okay, what are we illuminating? What are we choosing to illuminate? What do you want to shed more light on in your life? And then from that, what's inspiring you to say yes to in this one energy month while we are still in this beautiful 8 energy year? Like, we still get 2 more months of this wonderful 8. And so in that too, it's like, okay, where are you being the spark for yourself, and where are you being the spark for others? Where are you allowing others to spark you? Like, so with this whole lighting a candle light imagery, right? It's just like, let's bounce light everywhere. And let's also receive that light as well, so that we can create these massive shifts that everybody is waiting for. And we're supported with this energy that Roberta was just sharing too. Like that pow poom that you were like, I'm like, boom, sometimes lighting a spark is gentle, and sometimes like, Laura and I were trying to ignite the sauna ignition the other night, and it wasn't working, and it was that spark 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 spark, spark, like, so there can be that energy, or eventually you can just get the lighter out and gently light it, right? So yeah, I'm just feeling a lot of like energy and popping, and but also this calmness and support. Another thing that I had written that down was, it is safe for me to anticipate better outcomes than I can imagine.
Okay, Nancy, let's all take a breath on that one. Let's take a nice deep breath in and a beautiful exhale out. And Nancy, say that again for us.
It is safe for me to anticipate better outcomes than I can imagine.
Everybody, pen and paper, you're going to write that one down, because Nancy's going to say it one more time, the power of 3.
Yes.
Pen, paper, pause this if you're on replay. I'm going to write mine down here with all my other lovely notes. Nancy, tell us one more time.
It is safe for me to anticipate better outcomes than I can imagine.
Wow. And that goes beautifully with what the energy also deeper is saying for us this month is there's you might start her if you're following astrology part, like there's the Pluto Mars opposition, which was yesterday. We're going to have it 3 more times. And Pluto and Mars are the 2 rulers of Scorpio. And you have Pluto, that's the underworld, like death, rebirth, wants you to go in deep, wisdom, and rise up. And you have Mars, right? Masculine, powerful igniter energy that wants that change, wants to move forward, wants that spark of going forward. And they're in opposition. but they're supportive energy, helping. There's a lot of planets helping right now, but there is this like war of trying to find the integration and balance with this energy. And so, whatever is coming up for you this month, take note of that. Take note of that inner dialogue of worries and fears, and catch yourself when you're in your mind too much and that worry is like chattery and causing then the emotional like overwhelm in the system. Drop it down deeply into your heart, into your soul body, into your physical body, and just like root and breathe deeply, because there is this beautiful um, opportunity for us to master. To master. Here's the eight energy of, we're in the collective that we're all working with this year. Um, is like, how do we stay in that balance and harmony? How do we find the peace within when there's opposition and chaos and things that are happening and things are changing? So, where's your trust? Where's your deep faith? What is your deep faith? What is that? Right? What do you trust? What do you trust? Can you trust yourself more? Can you trust divine more? And that beautiful analogy, like that imagery, Nancy, that you have with all the candles, like it just feels like, in a deep cavern, in a deep cave, and all these beautiful candles there, and like a stillness. And yet it feels also like I see water flowing, right? That there's movement. I mean, Scorpio is water and it's deep, right? So having that imagery and feeling your guides and support there, even in the middle of everything else, they're there. And of course, we are in Samhain, and so still like Halloween, fixed point, 31st, we were like, oh, that's Halloween, Halloween, but we're actually still in it for a whole season. And it's not till the 6th of November that we actually hit the midpoint of that, and celebrating that true Samhain date. So Samhain's all about also spirit, right? And our ancestors and communication. Um, and in the dark, right? Like inviting that in. So there's that feel of inviting all of that in. And when Nancy says it is safe for me, or for, how did you say it? Where did I even write it?
It is
It's,
safe for me to anticipate
it's
better outcomes than I can imagine.
like it's safe. And I think there's a turnover in that, like maybe a belief. If there's beliefs in you that you're trying to turn over right now and trust again. Because when I hear that, I know personally, I've been like, even with my move and everything, I'm like, I'm safe. It's okay. It's safe. And just acknowledging the worries and the fears and why they're there, and just going, okay, how do I move into the deeper trust? And that was such a powerful statement that you gave us. So if we can feel into that, invite yourself into this beautiful month of November, the 11th month, a lot of 11 energy. Um, we started with that powerful first day of that Scorpio new moon. And numerology wise, one energy. Nancy's going to talk more about the numerology, but there's so much support and power as soon as we stepped into this. And, we stepped in from that veil through to with Samhain, the turning of the wheel, into that new beginning, into what a lot of people, like myself, we consider this of the wheel of the year, like the starting is the first festival, a fire festival. It's the laying to rest and going deeper. It's calling in that Kaliak energy, the crone, the wise woman, to come in and to invite that part of yourself to rise up. And this month is all about what's your wisdom? Can you go even deeper? Can you go even deeper? So, my very first thing when I wrote today, when I was sitting anchoring into this, not only was it getting boom and bang and pows, Batman and Robin for some reason, and the buckle up parachute and the deep trust in that. My very, very first thing I wrote was Pluto enters Aquarius. Like flashing lights. Um, I'm so looking forward to Pluto getting out of Capricorn. Um, Being a Capricorn, and having a lot of cardinal signs in my astrology chart. So cardinal signs are Capricorn, Aquarius, Cancer, and Libra. Those are the all the solar festivals markers of the seasons. They have really been feeling a lot of this Pluto energy in Capricorn. And then if you got Capricorn, I mean, Capricorn just, it's like we're just strengthening along. But it's so exciting that Pluto will be officially November 19th, leaving, saying goodbye to Capricorn for many, 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 many years. We'll never see this again. And we'll set off on that 20 years of it in Aquarius. And we've had a little taste back and forth for the last year and a bit. But this is really like, it's like the crossing, it's like crossing the finish line of what we just went through, but ready to like also break through to the next. What is the evolution of humanity and the collective? And that because Aquarius wants us to be, seek that more evolved state, right, within ourselves. So that date's a really big one. And we also have, um, like I said, we're in Scorpio season. It's watery. It feels freaking fiery, but it's water. And it wants us to go through a death and rebirth right now. It's spring. It's always, we think of Tower card and the Phoenix rising kind of energy that happens through there. So we're starting off like and a lot of big energies. And so for those of you that like to know your dates, I'm just going to go through some key dates because other big thing that's happening, Saturn's going to go direct. Mercury's going retrograde. We all love that, don't we? It's all good. It's all good. It's always good. But here are the main dates. So November, of course, New Moon was the first. Pluto Mars opposition. There's going to be three of them. We already had yesterday. The third was the big one. And this energy is um, it's extremes. It's like push and pull, trying to find the balance within it. How do we integrate this? How do we remain in our power and in our hearts and in deep trust? We know in the States it's election week. I do believe tomorrow, right? The 5th is it the 5th, right? I always feel like it's the Monday, like it should be today, but I'm like, no, but they got one more day. So we know that we're gonna be feeling and seeing a lot of we already have been feeling, seeing, but then there's gonna be what we're gonna navigate and see because even though we are in Canada, Nancy and I, the States, there is this effect that ripples through the rest of the world with what comes through the States. And I think a lot of us are seeing that and watching this, investing wherever you are in the world about this election. I think we're going to see a lot of things change and fall apart over the next coming months and years. It is a pivotal. I think this election, if anybody follows it, and whatever you would say, hey, I'm voting for this person or not person, and all the things that are there, there's going to be something big that's going to change the way of elections, a way of the states, a way of many, many, many things. So breathe, whether you're American or us all feeling what we're seeing, there's a big change. And so yesterday's that Pluto Mars opposition, I think I got the big boxing gloves out kind of thing. Or
Right.
is there like a Hulk boxing game, like a game?
Yes. Oh,
Is there something? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of those kind of
Smash
imagery.
robots.
So it's like this energy. It's almost like a cracking of a lightning sound coming together. It's going to ripple out. We're going to see something, this week, like that's already pulsating out there. But how do we remain in ourselves and the trust? And I wrote down like it's a great battle. this Mars and Pluto energy in these oppositions. So the first one was yesterday. January 3rd will be the second one, and then April 27th will be the third one. So this will all wrap up into May, this Pluto Mars opposition, lightning, boxing gloves, hulking it out, Batman, Robin, and wherever we're going with that imagery, we're going to see like these until May. Um, Pluto is destroying what is no longer in alignment, breaking down, happening. Okay. So we started our month right here with that. Then we're moving up into the middle point with our full moon Taurus on the 15th at 24 degrees. Go check where that is in your chart if you know how to read that in your chart. On that day, not only do we get that full moon Taurus grounding, earthing, wanting new beginning, wanting the earthing in a tangible kind of energy of things, Saturn also goes direct on the same day. So it's been in retrograde since June 27th, Saturn. And so there's also, Saturn will move very slowly. And so that day, the 15th, is as Saturn goes direct, there's almost like a standstill, a pause, a break, like with the full moon. So full moon usually gives us a lot of energy, but because it's Taurus, it wants us to ground and earth. And with Saturn going direct and it being at this big standpoint, this big like breathing in, so that full moon's gonna feel, it's all gonna have power because of what we're in, but it's gonna feel very grounded, I think, and wise of us to breathe deeply and just still and quiet yourself. Maybe go into that cave, right? Go in and put all those lights, all those candles, all those things. So we have that on the 15th. Pluto will enter into Aquarius on, like I said, on the 19th, finally out of Capricorn. On the 21st, we have the sun will move into Sagittarius. So we say goodbye to Scorpio season on the 21st of November. We move into fiery. Last fire season of the zodiac sign was Sagittarius. Sagittarius is that archer. It is about adventure and new ways and wanted to take the wisdoms, the lessons, and things that we've already have traveled through and go out and create an experience in the new way in the world, right? So we will have this all of a sudden like, okay, I'm ready to maybe not right on that day, but there'll be then that shift of energy rising of like, okay, get out, but get out in the world. Go see how things felt like what we just went through. How am I feeling now? What's going on? How do I want to come into this new world with Aquarius, Pluto now in Aquarius? Like there's going to be almost like a, well, hello world. How you doing? Like and seeking. But then we also have like the US will be having their Thanksgiving, right? Your Thanksgiving weekend will be coming up around that time, usually shortly after there. And then we're thinking about holidays and Christmas. So there is that breathing like energy that's going to come out when we get into Sagittarius. Um, and then the dear Mercury will go retrograde on November 25th in Sagittarius. So those are key dates that are good to see. And you can see that energy. What an energy from new moon, the Pluto Mars opposition, the full moon in Taurus and Saturn going direct, Pluto in Aquarius, Sun in Sagittarius, and then the Mercury retrograde. Those are the energetic feels there. So Nancy, tell us about the numerology moving through the month ahead for us.
So, as we mentioned, like we're in this beautiful one energy month, right? So this is really asking us to say yes, to step forward, to look for all the new opportunities, to get really clear on what it is that you let go of last month and where you want to point your arrow with that Sagittarius energy coming later in the month, right? Like where do you want your attention and focus to go? And so when we're sitting in this beautiful one energy, it's like, okay, who am I and what am I creating? Feels very powerful. And as we're moving through all of the different energies of the month, so um, just always bringing it back to self and really connecting in with your heart. So we started out this month with the two energy, partnered with the six of diamonds, which you heard me say earlier, just was really about being in that present moment. And I feel like that was such a beautiful way to start this month of just being like, okay, who am I? And what is it that I value and want to experience in this world? Another day that's already happened that I really just wanted to call out was yesterday. We had this, there's a few days like this where we have these beautiful partnerings. So one of was the four with the four of diamonds. And really, so that was just like, okay, what is your four walls? What is your foundation? What feels good for you? Where do you stand? So if we're going to bring in the fact of the election and everything, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter what everybody else is saying out there. What feels right for you? So just take a moment to think back to yesterday and just think about how yesterday's energy felt for you. And maybe there's something that you're like, oh, that that felt a little bit sticky, or I didn't enjoy this, or this was amazing. Like today is now a really good day to reflect back on that, because we have this beautiful five energy, which is shifting and changing and evolving, partnered with this three of diamonds, which really wants to talk about our alignment, right? So just take a few moments, whatever that may be today, to just think about yesterday and how that felt. And then to just let it go. Maybe one of those candles that we're seeing and burning is to burn and let go of what isn't serving you. We heard a lot about Pluto coming in and helping us to release that stuff. So there's a lot of supportive energy with that in the numerology as well. So as we move through this first full week of November, we are in that diamonds energy until Wednesday, which is really going to be about what do you value? What is happening in your physical world? What do you want to bring in? What do you want to release physically? And then as we move into Thursday, we're going to be moving into that club's energy, which is that your thoughts, your communication. And so it's like, okay, where over, and then we're going to be in that for all of next week and part of the week after that. So just really being aware of your intentions, your thoughts, your ideas, and how you're going to bring them into fruition um, throughout the rest of the month. And then just before we move into Sagittarius season, we're also returning to the heart energy, and we will be in that for the remainder of the month. So really, like, I love that American Thanksgiving falls on a Heart's Day, like it's all about love and appreciation and gratitude. And so really taking time throughout the end of the month as we're really connecting in with your heart, your soul's calling, and what's going on for you. A few days, other days that I wanted to call out was November 14th. We have the six partnered with the six of clubs. And I mean, I'm a six of clubs. So obviously I'm like, oh, anytime, but that's not, it's just this partnership of that six and six. So that karmic energy, that like, okay, that shifting, that balancing, like I feel like there's going to be a pivotal change for us on that day. So really in the days leading up to that, being really clear on what you would like that change to feel like for you. Let's tie that back to the statement I said at the beginning. What outcomes are you expecting this month, and how can they be even bigger and better than you imagined? So spending that first half of the month getting really clear on that and clearing the energy around that so that you can be delivered this beautiful gift on the 14th and throughout the rest of the month. The 15th I have circled, and I think maybe because of the full moon, but the energy there is the seven and the five of clubs. So it's now asking us to evolve and change and be called higher. And we have the energy of the full moon behind us. And as Roberta talked about, that Taurus really wanting us to ground in with it. So once again, being very clear on what it is that you are asking for and what it is that you're wanting to receive, create, release, whatever that is for you. And then the 25th, we have the eight partnered with the eight of hearts. So in this eight energy here, so that feels like a very powerful day to really dive into that self mastery and that trust and that faith and what is it that's truly in your heart that it's wanting to be expressed out into this world. And there is all this powerful energy behind you to support you in that and to be like, yes, let's do this. Yeah, like there's a lot of fun, powerful days. Just the also I'll talk about the 11th briefly because the 11 portal, people will be like, that that day is a three nine of clubs day. So the nine is going to really be asking you, okay, working with this portal energy, which I mean, we're in it already, but it's going to amplify that day. What is it that you are releasing in order to be able to receive? Where do you need to release attachment? Where it's also partnered with the three. So really that mind, body, spirit alignment, creativity, manifestation, like bringing it out. So we have some really powerful days this month, and they all tend to come back to that self again, right? And I feel like we've said this a number of times this year, right? And I feel like it's going to, when Roberta talked about like the moving into Aquarius, like that is about the bigger collective and humanity and everything. But if we're not taking care of ourselves, how are we going to be able to take care of others? So really use this energy to clean up your own energy, heal the parts of you that need healing so that you can go out into the world and help others from a place of power and abundance. It's really what it feels strong.
Yeah, from boxing gloves to like a piece. There's that supportive energy that is there. And I love how you highlighted the 14th because I had that highlighted myself and the 25th. Just with the numerology, we can see that. And I think with the 14th, as it's coming up to the full moon energy, that beautiful time with the six of clubs and the six energy day is to take a slower day and take that time to think from the heart space, from peace, from harmony, and what you're wanting to bring in for that next cycle. And with the full moon and with that beautiful loving Taurus energy, Taurus is ruled by Venus and very loving, caring, earthing kind of wisdom that's in there. So taking that pause and using that energy that's happening on the 14th to support you for the 15th. And remember that Saturn, right? It is going direct that day on that full moon. And it is a beautiful pausing. Do your meditation. If you don't meditate on a regular basis, do some meditation on the 14th or 15th, maybe both days. And the other thing is this whole month with the energetics and everything moving so in so many different ways. And I've brought this up a few times. I don't think I've spoken about it in the last couple of forecasts we've done, but I've talked about we are in a time where if you had been learning, you've been doing your work, you've been doing your healing work, and you've been learning, various tools to put into your medicine basket of how to meditate and sacred practice tools and divination and being with nature and leaning into your intuition more and building that. We're in the time of like, okay, it's go time. Like your basket, you have what you have. Now use it. Use your tools that you have daily to support you through all this changing times, right? So go for your walk, do your meditation, do your cleansing, clearing, whatever it is that's in your toolbox. Actually use them. Don't just collect them, okay? And just all over the place with them. It is time. It's go time. Little affirmation I'm going to read for the full moon. This is coming from the Magic of I book. Um, I did get mine for 2025. Came in the mail a week and a bit ago. So if you haven't ordered, I highly recommend this book, as you guys know. So the affirmation they have here for the full moon is I deeply, I am deeply rooted within nature's divine cycles. I am part of the revolutionary shifts happening now. Beautiful. And I love that I'm deeply rooted within nature's divine cycles. Welcome to the turning of the wheel and the deepness of feeling the cycles. And I am part of the revolutionary shifts. They're happening. You're part of it. You're moving through it, in it, a part of it. You get power and say in it too. You have power and say. Um, so Nancy and I just want to make sure I had any of my other notes that I didn't say. I think I pretty much have gotten everything for you guys. Nancy, anything you want to wrap up before we do our cards?
My other note that I have written down here is pat on back. So I want you to take time this month to celebrate you, to celebrate you, to celebrate how far you have come and where you are going, and give yourself that pat on the back, and really, and maybe go pat others on the back also. I um, celebrate those that you love, those that you admire, those that you maybe celebrate those that you're struggling with as well. And just let's celebrate and hold each other up this month.
Love that. So, and also celebrate those that you have challenges with.
We're here for a reason.
Yeah. And I know, I know myself that I'm in giving some extra love and compassion and kind of just like sending that out there, going into that part. Not if you're just saying it for the just to send prayers and think it's fake. Like go into those spots of yourself where you have deep compassion and love and send that to those that you may be having trying times with. Um, so really good medicine, deep, wise medicine, right? Because we're all going through stuff, right? And sometimes we don't show up the best. And this is the season where all your shit that you're not dealing with, all your darkness, all your shadows are coming to be seen. So also a beautiful, and maybe you won't find this beautiful, but it's definitely powerful to do, is to sit in that beautiful cave with the candles going and have a beautiful sacred mirror in front of you and see what needs to be seen within yourself. Ask for those parts with love and nurturing to be revealed to you that you need more work, more kindness, more love, more just awareness sometimes of them, and that you're safe to look and see and reflect deeply within yourself. And that is a really deep seed medicine. I'm hearing like actually hearing like mention this is right now is go even deeper into yourself and into your self-reflection of your soul and have a walk around and have a conversation. Because you're really then, I mean, going to rise up more powerfully within yourself. I was trying to look up when this, because these books are great. They have everything, and I was just like wondering if I could quickly see when this Pluto or not Pluto, Mercury goes direct in there. Nancy, do you have that written down? It's usually around 3-ish weeks.
Yeah.
And I did have this as a mark part in my book, but I pulled the marker out. So, and I have the date right now. Obviously, it's going to be in December.
December 15th.
Sorry, what date?
December 15th.
15th. There we go. So December 15th, Mercury will go direct and still will be in Sagittarius. We'll be in Sagittarius for a little bit. So it's wanting new ways of also focus and clarity and that fiery energy and working with it when it's whatever sign it's in. So it's in Sagittarius. So just kind of think about the energetics as Mercury is in that for, I think it's almost a couple months because of the retrograde. All righty. So I did have a little look. Hello, I saw Veronica and Samantha, and I saw Rosalie, and I feel like I should have my romper room mirror right here. And if you don't know what the freak I'm talking about, that just tells me you're not a Gen X. No, you know what I'm talking about, don't you, Nancy? As we're the same age. A romper room. Go check it out. Find it probably old shows. I see you. So hi, ladies. Now I'm going to stop the recording and start all clean and refresh the recording. We're not going anywhere in the Cosmic Earth Weavers group, just our recording. So it's broken up more easy for us.